The Town Start competition happening on July 1st, 2025 will feature the Canvas meta, which isn't as difficult as it seems. The craft requirements for Canvas are 10 wood, 10 cotton, and 1 glue. It is crafted in the stationery shop with a craft time of 1 minute and 30 seconds and stored in the warehouse. For this competition, Canvas will give 100,000 stars for each one sold. The trade time for this competition is 60 seconds with a 1 gasoline cost per trade. The starting layout provided for this competition is a plains biome with a mountain on the north side and a river on the south side. There is an oil seep provided in this biome. The cash boosts for this competition are wood from 250 to 25,000, which is a 100 times cash boost. You heard that right. Cotton from 350 to 35,000, which is also a 100 times cash boost, and glue from 9,000 to 90,000. The rewards for this competition are the standard Gala rewards for reaching the top 1,200 placements in the leaderboard by the time the competition ends. Rewards are usually distributed directly to your account within 5 days. This is the canvas design that I've created for this upcoming competition. It is doing about 117 canvas per hour. No NFTs are required to reach this production rate. I'm going to scroll through the production monitor so you can see the production rate of everything. Not a whole lot of items involved compared to some of the other metas, and this one I believe is fairly easy, at least in terms of items. There are a couple of expensive buildings here, but did you hear the cash boost? I mean, the cash boosts are insane. You're not going to have any issues getting all the cash that you need because you could just plant a bunch of cotton fields and a couple farmer houses and get all the cash that way. You could also do lumberjacks and tree farms for wood, but the cotton is going to generate more cash, so you probably do want to do a cotton rush. I also have a video I did in the past when cotton was boosted, so I did a cash rush featuring cotton. I'll link that in the description in case you wanted to check that out as a reference. It might not be the exact same biome, but it gives you a general idea of what you can do for the cotton rush. I'll go ahead and explain the crafting process of everything, starting with lumber. There are 14 logger houses, which is a lot, but this build does require a lot of wood. There are a total of 41 tree farms, all of which are on a green craft timer, and they all have the passive water that they need. There are 3 lumber mills, 2 on the west side and 1 on the east side crafting lumber. There are 2 lumber yards, so of course this lumber mill will take the lumber to this lumber yard, and these 2 lumber mills will take the lumber to this lumber yard. So this is producing all of the lumber that it needs. In fact, it'll still overproduce it because it is overproducing wood just by a bit, though. It's not overproducing a crazy amount. Sometimes you might have wood going into the lumber yard, which is why you would want to put the wood on auto sell just in case, so it doesn't jam up your lumber yard, since you do need the lumber for the honey and the honeycomb. Now I will explain the glue production. I have 2 forklifts in charge of collecting the clay lumps from 7 clay fields. They take them to the warehouse, of which there are 2 warehouses. I am using a nuclear power to provide passive energy to all of the pottery shops. That way I don't have any dirt casted on them that would slow them down. There are 12 pottery shops crafting ceramic bowls. They all have the passive energy and water drums that they need. They just need to pick up the 2 clay lump from the warehouse. I have 7 beekeepers around the town. Of course, these are in charge of collecting the ceramic bowls and the lumber and taking them to the beehives. I have 22 beehives, 10 are crafting honey, 12 are crafting honeycomb. You'll be able to see it better on the visualizer, but it goes honey, 2 honeycombs, honey, 2 honeycombs, honey, honeycomb, honey, honeycomb, honey, and the other line is exactly the same. As for the rotation of these, I didn't manually rotate them, so all of them are facing south with the exception of these 2. These are facing north. So these auto rotate once I built them, because you would want to have these 2 roads there first, and once you build these, they would just automatically face the road since they're next to it. But yes, all these other ones are facing south, and the balance for honey and honeycomb works very well here. As you can see, 117 honey per hour, 102 118 honeycomb per hour, which results in 117 glue. So it will overproduce honeycomb, but it's very slow. And you could probably make this more efficient if you were to rotate them and have them actually facing the roads, you know, the clover field and the road. Have this one face here, have this one face here. I just didn't bother doing that because it was already working well. And keep in mind, you will pretty much be using all of the ceramic bowls, as the ceramic bowl rate is 236 per hour. So you do have to be very careful with the balance. This just turned out to work for me. And you know, another thing it could be is because of the position of the clover fields, that might have helped with the balance. So there are a total of 23 clover fields. Most of them are in this section here. I have 2 of them down here just because this has 3 passive water. Now I don't need any more clay fields, and this has 4 passive water, but I don't need any more cotton fields. And then I have 2 more clover fields up north here. Now there is 1 pantry where the honey and honeycomb get stored at, and there are 5 wizards workshops in charge of crafting glue. Now I do have the enchanted fireworks set, so it does reduce the craft time of my wizards workshops. I only have 3 of them turned on. I am pretty sure that 5 of them will get you all the glue that you need without any NFTs required. Now the reason that you need so many is just because the warehouse is far away. They have to make a long trip to get the 2 clay lumps, and you probably could have this be more efficient if the warehouse was here or maybe here. Probably here would be better, right? Because they have to pick up the ceramic bowls, take them to the beehives. I originally did have it like that, but I ended up moving it here because it casts to shade, and I'm not casting shade to negatively impact anything over here. And I needed as many clover fields as I could get, so hence the change. But if you had the warehouse here, you probably could have a better ceramic bowl rate. I am not sure how it would impact honey and honeycomb. It probably would impact it, and then you'd have to fix it. So I'm just explaining all this to you in case you wanted to do that. And yeah, if you did that, then you probably won't need 5 of these. Maybe you'll need 4, maybe 3. But that's just the reason why I have so many, because they have to walk a lot. And of course I have the 1 storehouse that is where the glue gets taken to, which is nice because it's closer to the stationery shops. And now to explain canvas, I have 5 tractors in charge of collecting the cotton from the 9 cotton fields. All the cotton gets stored in the 1 silo right here, which is close to the 6 stationery shops that I have, which are all crafting canvas. And the reason why this warehouse is so close is so they can quickly deposit the canvas and get back to picking up the cotton or glue. And for the gasoline setup, I have the standard setup with 2 water pumps, 2 power plants, the refinery in between them crafting gasoline, the refinery to the side crafting petroleum. I do have an oil seep providing passive crude oil for the refinery, crafting petroleum, and the power plants. And the fuel storage is across the refinery crafting gasoline. Normally I would have the fuel storage here. That was actually the original plan. I got the placements wrong, but it doesn't matter. This still gets you enough gas to sell everything that you need. And of course, once you're done with everything, you would want to have your power plants and your nuclear power turned off. You don't need to manually make energy for this design. All of the energy and water drums are fully passive. And the trade setup is up here on the northwest. 1 single trade depot will handle all of the trades. On the northeast, you have an empty spot. You could just have your builder house here. Here is what the auto trade looks like. Almost all of the items are an auto trade quantity of 10, and you do want to make sure you have wood on here, as I mentioned earlier, but you want to set clay lumps to 15. This is to make sure there's always some clay lumps for your pottery shops or your wizards workshops to pick up, because I noticed if you're selling them right at 10, you will not make as much ceramic bowls to get to this production rate. So very important that clay lumps get set to 15. Here's what the build looks like on the visualizer. Total cost is about 30 million. You won't have any issue getting all the cash that you need for this because of the huge cash boost. Now this doesn't include the cost of building the steel mill, which you'll need the steel to build nuclear power, so it's probably closer to 32 million. Wages are 25,395 per minute, and you can find the file for this visualizer on my Discord server, and an invite link can be found in the description. And if you need more help understanding how to build the nuclear power or more information about the beehives, I do have videos for both of those topics. And at 117 canvas per hour, I do believe that this will be competitive enough to win in the competition. I hope you found this helpful and informative. I hope it helps you create a design or improve your current one. Feel free to like the video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. If you want to help support the channel, you can find links in the description on how to do so, and as always, I appreciate your support and thank you for watching.